So have you ever asked yourself this question or have been asked this question? When is a good time to introduce your kids to your new relationship, the person, you're dating? It's a big question. It's quite detailed. It's not an easy question to answer, but stay tuned to this video and I will give you my response. Hey there, Coach Nrgy here, the Single Parents Life Coach. I just want to answer this question that I have been getting a lot, not just lately, but over time. It has always been one of the main elements of coaching that I deal with on a regular basis. It's one of those main elements that people in general, whether you are an actual parent yourself with a child or you don't have children, but yet you have met someone at some point throughout your life who does have a child or children. And this has been one of those things that you've had to navigate in your relationship. You've had to navigate throughout the course of your life of being a parent. So let's talk about it. My answer, my response, I don't know if I really want to just jump right into it, but let me tell you, I'll do it this way. Let me just tell you, whenever I am coaching clients or whenever I'm just answering the question, whenever someone asks me in any of the platforms or any of the groups that I'm in, they'll ask that question. And my initial way of answering, in order to just kind of help them understand it first, help them understand why my answer will be what it will be. The way that I do it is I'll say, okay, look at your own track record of your dating life, because everybody's situation is different. So it's not just the timing for, however long you typically date someone versus how long this other person typically dates someone is going to be different. So look at your own track record and see how many relationships you've been involved in. How many or how long have those relationships lasted? When you first met that person, was it something that a situation or relationship where you both were like head over heels for each other, in that very common honeymoon phase, which a lot of people experience, and, to where things just seem so perfect, things are, just going as smooth as they could possibly go. And so look at your own track record of dating and see how many people have you been with after having your child with their parents. How many people have you now dated and been with since then, or even right before you had a child, just in your dating life right now? Because you know what? I want to also make sure that I talk to people who may not have kids, but they may be dating someone with kids. So I'll say it this way as well. For those who don't have kids yet, look at your track record as well and just, notice how long have those relationships lasted? How many relationships have you been in? In those relationships, were you again, head over heels for someone? Everything seemed perfect. Everything was just flowing, as easy, as smooth, as best as it possibly could be. And then just pause for a second and consider, okay, in those good times, quote unquote, the good times of when when the relationship was going well, me and this other person, we were really hitting it off with each other. It seemed like, we were going to be, together forever. That feeling that you had, that being on cloud nine feeling that you had, that certainty that you had in those moments, put your kids in each of those situations. Imagine having introduced your child to all of those different people every single time. And then you got to look at where you are right now. If you're not married right now, then that means you're still going through that dating phase. If you are actively dating, you're still going through that dating phase. You're still going through that get to know a person phase. And, that can take a while. For some people, it takes a little bit longer than others. But the point that I want to make is whenever you are getting to know a person, whenever you have decided to, jump into a relationship or just simply get into a relationship with someone, you don't want to introduce your kids to that person at all throughout your dating stage. That's my answer. You don't want to, that's part of my answer. You don't want to introduce your child, your children, your partner to each other at all during that dating phase. Even if you guys are officially a couple, you still don't want to introduce that child yet. You don't want to bring that child in the mix just yet, because you are still getting to know them. You are still, they're still courting you. You know, he is still courting you. Y'all are still learning each other. Of course, you're going to continue to learn a person, you know, for the rest of your lives together. However, you're still trying to get to know the person enough to see if this can be your forever person. How about that? You are wanting, you're going through the motions, you're going through the time, you're spending the time, you're doing your due diligence of learning them enough to see if y'all can make it to the end. And typically that end is, okay, are we able to be married? You know, are we able to make it to the point of marriage? And, you know, some people may not really agree with this video because the measurement or the gauge that I'm using is, you know, marriage. And I do understand that there are a lot of people who aren't trying to, you know, who don't desire to get married. And that's okay. You know, not everyone is meant to be married. Not everyone will be married. You know, it's not destined for every person to be married. So some people may not quite agree with this particular, with my answer. However, still, you don't want to introduce someone to your kids, because we are talking about minor kids. You don't want to introduce anyone to your minor kids if you are not at that point of being married with someone. And let me make sure I say this, because this is one of those things that a lot of people, you know, want to respond back with and say, oh, well, you know, but you know, I'm at a point to where I'm ready to get to live with this person, or we're ready to move in with each other. Whoa. Pause. Slow it down. That's even worse. You know, bringing kids and your partner under the same roof with each other, and you and your partner have not even decided if y'all are capable of being married yet. If y'all are willing to make that commitment to each other yet. If y'all are willing to make that commitment and exchange those vows with each other yet. You know, so moving in together is not the answer. Moving in together is not the end all be all. Moving in together, it's not that, you know, the goal. You know, you want to become together, you know, in the right way. Meaning marriage. Oh, yeah, marriage. Sorry. Yeah, you want to make sure that, you know, just you're not moving too fast. You're not introducing and now exposing your child to this person, you know, whom you're still getting to know. And the reason I asked that question at the very beginning, like, you know, look at your own track record and go back to the times of where you were with someone and, you know, the relationship seemed like it was going so well. And then out of nowhere, months later, a couple of years later, however long it took, you know, this person just did something that just, you know, totally crushed you, broke your heart, ended the relationship, whatever the case is. And you were just like, whoa, you know, I did not see this coming or anything like that. And that's why you don't want to introduce kids. You don't want to introduce your kids to your personal dating, your personal relationships yet, because it's hard enough as adults to deal with and to understand how to navigate heartache, heartbreak, the mental confusion that comes with a breakup, the emotional confusion that comes with a breakup. As adults, it's hard enough to deal with it. So why would you expose your child to a relationship that's not solidified yet, that's not been deemed permanent yet? Permanent meaning, again, being getting to the point of marriage. When you and your partner, the person that you're dating are at the point of where he is about to propose to you, or these days she, you know, whomever is about to propose to the other person, at that point is where you can slowly start opening that door of now bringing your kids in. Because now, you know, if y'all are at the point of becoming engaged, then yes, that's when the kids need to start slowly becoming involved, because now you guys have said, hey, yes, I am willing to now take that official next step with you. I'm willing and ready to take that leap with you of becoming your wife, of becoming your husband, whatever it is. And so when you are at that point and the actions are now ready to be taken, not just conversation, because we can all talk all day long, but when the actions are starting to be put in place, when the conversations with the other family, that the asking for permission, the shopping of the rings, if you all believe in exchanging rings and wearing the wedding rings, whatever it looks like for you, when that time comes, then that's when you can slowly start introducing the children or your child to that person, your new partner, because now you have confirmed and have officially decided, you know what, this is the person that I am going to choose to spend the rest of my life with, and we're going to take that next step. So now let me start bringing my kids into it. So some people may say or may feel or may think that, oh, that's too long. Well, see, this is the thing though. Until two people, a couple, are at a point to where they're ready to put action behind an engagement or a marriage, then that means neither person has actually made that decision that is their forever person, right? So if that's the case, then why expose your children to a situation that you're still trying to figure out, or the other person is still trying to figure out? Why bring your kids into that? And so this is the thing. Some people are also going to say, well, so that means I could, I'll be dating someone, be in a relationship with someone for, 2 years, 3 years, 1 year. And how do I can't bring my kids around them, or, I won't be able to bring my kids around them. Well, how is that going to happen? Yeah, that's exactly what that means. But this is the thing. If you are intentional, if people are intentional about the time that they are spending with the other person, that they're getting to know during those dating phases and that courting phase, then if you're being intentional, you're doing your full due diligence, you are asking those questions, you're having those conversations, you're spending that one-on-one personal time with each other away from the kids, then you actually will be able to get to know that person in a faster rate, to where it shouldn't take years, 2 years, 3 years. It may take a full year, but for the person that is for you, it won't take that long. It won't. Not going to say it won't, but it doesn't have to take that long. I'll say it that way. It doesn't have to take that long. Not if you're going through your dating situations with the right eyes. If you are where you need to be, and if the other person is where they need to be, in as individuals, as single people, if both of you are coming into this dating situation as two whole people, and you have worked out your own situations prior to becoming a couple, you have you're not carrying around or bringing in baggage from your past relationships, from other relationships. You're not bringing in and dragging baggage of emotions and just bad habits from your past, whether it be from your childhood or from just when you were, again, just dating other people. Then it doesn't have to take that long to get to know if that person is for you. And if you are someone who actually pays attention to your instinct, you pay attention to what the spirit is trying to tell you whenever the spirit tries to give you those warnings, when the spirit tries to talk to you and say, hey, pay attention to this, or ask this question, or I don't know, this person may not be the one for you. If we actually take heed to the Holy Spirit's guidance that it tries to give us every single day with everything that we do, then again, it does not have to take that long to get to know if a person is for you or not. And so so it takes off the table the issue or the worry of, okay, I might not, is this person going to want to date me without meeting my kids, or me not bringing my kids into the situation, for a year or 2 years or 3 years? Then if if you're at that point, if you're still dating someone 2 years, 3 years later, that means you are still trying to gain information about who this person is. And you're still trying to gain enough information to decide if this person is someone for you, someone whom you can see spending the rest of your life with, someone whom you both can decide and determine if you want to commit to each other or not. And if you are still trying to figure it out, then why? It makes no sense to bring your kids into the mix. You are just going to confuse yourself even more. You're going to now confuse your kids, because if you are still trying to figure it out, they're not going to be able to have an adult dialogue or conversation with you to be able to say, hey, Ma, so, I noticed this about such and such, I don't know if he's a good, the one for you. Or, hey, Dad, I noticed this about such and such, and I don't know if she's the right person for you. Like, no, they're not, their minds have their minds, their emotions, none of that has been developed as children yet to be able to have those type of conversations with you, and to not even be able to work those things out and figure those things out or make sense of the things that they may experience whenever they have been brought into the mix of mommy and daddy's relationships. You have now just added extra layers on top of whatever they have to go through as kids already. As they're developing and learning other things at their ages, you have now just thrown an adult type of situation, adult type of complex type of situation into their lives, to where they now have to figure it out. They now have to try to gain an understanding of, well, what does this mean when I hear this or I see this with mommy, or what does this mean when I hear this or see this with daddy? Like, no, not with your minor kids being under the age of 18. You do not want to introduce them to, you don't want to bring them into whatever your personal relationships are. That's my response. That's my answer. It's not a popular answer at all. It goes against what a lot of people do. I've even done that. I am guilty of bringing a person around my child during the phase of getting to know them, still dating them and learning them enough to decide and determine if they are someone whom I can see myself marrying. Yeah, I made that choice and I made that mistake of bringing them or her around them during those times when I was still trying to figure them out. And it's like, well, why would I even have exposed her to that? And so, when you know better, you do better, right? And so, yes, I no longer do that. No. So, and it's one of those things where, if the person has a problem with it, if you are the parent and then that person has a problem with not meeting your kids, then maybe that person is not for you anyway, because if they cannot understand that, what, you being a parent, you're basically just doing whatever you feel is right for your kids, making sure that still during this time of just dating someone, you're prioritizing your kids. You're doing whatever it takes to protect your kids, because once as a human being, as an adult, once we bring a child into this world, our responsibility is now protecting our children at all costs, by any means necessary. And so that also means protecting them from our own personal choices of life and emotions and everything else that we may have going on, that we may decide to cook up. And it means not bringing them into it and mixing them into that melting pot. So how does it look whenever you are following this style, this method? It literally means keeping them separate, keeping your personal life separate, and keeping your parental life separate. So let's just say if you are in a co-parenting situation and you have the ability, or you're in a situation where your child goes to the other parent's house on weekends or other weekends, or a couple of days out of the month, during certain holidays, whatever your schedule looks like. Whenever your kids are away, that's when you get to play. When your kids are away, that's when you're able to spend that personal, in-person, one-on-one time with your, the person that you are in a relationship with. So what does it look like if you are just a single parent full time? You don't have the co-parent, the other parent there to co-parent with. Then at some point you will have your own, time that you would have created, to be able to just kind of go and have some personal time, some one-on-one time, whether that means or looks like, having a babysitter or letting your kids have a play date or a play date, with other kids, having a family member, spend some time with your kids, whatever. You will find that time, you will create that time of separating your kids' time with you versus the time with your partner. And so that's how you want to navigate it. And doing it that way, again, just keep focus, keep your eye on the priority of, what's most important is making sure that my child or children are being protected. That's how you're able to make that choice and continue to maintain navigating a dating life with that choice, is just keeping that constant reminder. I don't want to expose my child to this person because I don't even know if this person is someone whom I want to marry yet. Okay, cool. You think that this is someone whom you want to marry? Cool. Wait until the actions start to be brought into your relationship. Then that's when you know that person is serious, and then that's when you can start slowly introducing and opening the doors to your kids meeting your new partner. So again, unpopular opinion. But it's so necessary, and it's a situation that it's easier for me to explain it verbally versus having the emails or text or messaging threads back and forth or over social media or whatever, which is I get a lot of DMs about this type of question or just questions in general. However, I do get this one a lot, and it's one of the more difficult questions to be able to really answer, and via having to type out the answer because it's so layered. And so I said, let me just go ahead and make a video. Let me, put it out there so I can have a centralized place to, send people to where they can hear me explain it, because it's, it's so many different things that have to be considered. It's so many different things that have to be discussed or brought up in order to answer that question, and in order to provide the understanding behind the answer to that question. Because you guys know me, I am all about understanding whatever it is that we go through, understanding the why behind things, understanding the why behind the answers that we are given, understanding the why behind the things that we do, the choices that we make, whatever the case is. And I will go ahead and tell you guys, if you are hearing noises in my background, they are celebrating right now. There are a lot of fireworks going on. So excuse that, or just understand and know that I'm all good. We're saying there's nothing to be concerned about. But yeah, I'm hearing it, quite loud. So, yeah. So I'm curious, put your comments, your questions, your concerns below, and let's see how many people feel or who feels what, let's, I'm going to offer this, especially on this particular topic. I am going to offer the ability to have a verbal dialogue, with anyone who wants to discuss it further, discuss this topic further, or maybe just simply get a better understanding, or just have me explain in more detail of, the answer that I provided, and yeah, I'm willing to do that for this topic via Zoom. So depending on the number of people that, want to do it, if it's just a few people, cool, we can just do it one-on-one. If it's a lot of people, if I get a huge response, then I'm going to create like a group discussion platform via Zoom, or, maybe in my Facebook group or something like that. We'll figure it out, or I'll figure it out, and I'll let you all know, to where we can actually just, have the conversation in the moment and have it live, between each other, because I do understand the depths of this topic. I do understand the layers of what have to be considered, and just how not crazy, but just how it sounds, to say that I'm supposed to go through life dating people with my, knowing that I have a child, knowing that I'm a parent, without ever introducing them to the people that I'm getting to know until I'm ready to marry them. Yeah, I understand how it sounds. Trust me. However, once I understood the importance of it and then actually did it, I was like, yo, this is like so much better for my child. It was so much cleaner. The breakups that I may have had after I started learning, or after I started following this method of dating, it was just so much easier, because I didn't have to worry about, well, do I want to stay with this person because now, my child is attached to them, and, now my child has a relationship with them, and then, if I don't want to be with them, but they still want to, my child still wants to have a relationship with them, that can get really messy, all of that type of stuff. So let's just leave the kids leave the kids out of the adult situations and relationships, until the time is right. It's so much easier for them. It's easier for you as well. It keeps things much less complicated. There are, plenty of methods of how you can do this. If you want to know those methods, make sure that you contact me. Feel free to schedule a free consultation that I am offering right now on my website, CoachNrgy.com. Nrgy is spelled Nrgy. CoachNrgy.com. Go to my website, schedule a free consultation, and we can literally just have this discussion, and I can break it down for you further. Again, everyone's situation is different, and so once you explain to me what your situation is, and I will be able to help you figure out a game plan, or come up with a game plan for your situation, and being able to successfully not bring your kids around people whom you're dating, which is ultimately people whom you're still just simply getting to know. So you know what to do. Go ahead and share, like, subscribe, follow, download. If you are listening to this on my podcast channel, I give Life to Life. Make sure that you download the actual channel itself on your mobile device. So therefore, every time that I upload a new episode, you will be notified. If you are watching this on my YouTube channel, Coach Nrgy, make sure that you are subscribed, and make sure that you hit that bell again, so you are also notified every time that I come out with a new episode. I don't want you all to miss out on this valuable information. If any episodes do not apply to you, it applies to someone in your life, someone whom you know. So make sure that you share it out to them. Share. This information is free. This is my way as a life coach to share valuable content, to just get the information out there to people who really, really need it. And so this is my part. This is my way of doing it. And we got to make sure that people take advantage of it, of the benefits of being able to just, have this here and available to them on this channel. So whenever they're ready, whenever they need, a little bit more, when they need a little bit more, sorry, the fireworks are throwing me off. When they need a little bit more, sorry, guidance, they need a little more help, more direction, with whatever it is that they're dealing with. If they're not able to talk to me, right then and there, if they're not necessarily a client of mine, then they still have this channel to be able to go through and search for whatever it is that they're experiencing in that moment. And they can still get some sort of help, some sort of direction and guidance. So that's what this is all about. So help someone else by just hitting that share button and putting the word out there. It's, it's not for me, it's for everyone else. And I hope that you all are continuing to get value out of everything that I'm sharing. If there are any topics or any discussions that you want me to talk about, then make sure that you email me, or put it below in the comments section, and let me know what you want me to discuss, and I will consider adding it to my list of topics that I have already gotten. If you want to be able to connect with me, the main place to go to is my website, CoachNrgy.com. Everything is there. If you want to be able, if you're big into social media, go to that website, and then it'll lead you to your preferred platform: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you name it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for staying tuned to this particular episode. I appreciate the comments below. I appreciate the support from everyone so far. I really do enjoy, doing these videos, and I'm going to continue to do these videos for as long as the technology allows me to do it. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, that's it. Y'all, you already know. Keep smiling. Talk soon. Bye-bye.